everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing the FuriBee H818. This is another one of these foldable drones. This is basically very almost nearly identical to the new JJRC Elfie. That comes in this really nice carrying case, which I think is quite a pretty good bonus for the price of this thing. It's it's under, I think it's under $40 for this drone. Really nice, and it's got the zippers, so if you want to carry it around, I think it's a pretty cool little added touch to put it on here. Now, I'm kind of reviewing here on my front porch today. I was trying to review in the back, and there's a ton of construction noise, so I just thought, I'll just do it here real quick, so the lighting's good. So, but a little bit of unusual spot for me to do this review today. But let's go ahead and we'll go and look at it inside the case here. My kids are making a lot of noise. It's distracting me too. Here's the drone. It's like a nice glossy orange finish with the FuriBee logo, power button on top. The arms just snap into place here. And you're pretty much ready to go. A nice little drone. It's got a fully swivelable camera. It goes all the way down, so if you wanted to take some footage of like your roof or something, you can certainly do that. It's a 720p over Wi-Fi cam. It's true 720, and the footage is very good. It's it's much like the new Elfie and the JJRC H818 Christmas egg drone. The camera is similar quality to that, and they all use this same kind of controller, this little wand controller on one hand, and we'll go over that in just a moment. The battery is a 1S 3.7 volt 500 milliamp hour battery. It has this little charging port in the side, so you don't have to actually remove the battery to charge it. Plugs in there, and you plug it into USB, and it takes takes about 45 minutes or so, I think it was, for me to charge it. Flight time is somewhere in the 5-6 minute range, I think. I didn't get a real exact time on the flight time. But it's a nice little drone. It flies really, really well with the gyro controller, and I just really like it a lot. Now, it's got this white LED in the front and red in the back, so it's kind of got that car look to it, kind of like a DeLorean or something, Back to the Future, with the white front lights and the rear and the back. So really good for orientation, especially at night. But they're pretty cool. They'll just flash since I'm not bound up. But you can, hopefully that shows up. They're pretty darn bright. I like this. Like I said, this is a really, really neat drone. I really think it's really cool. So it comes with the charger, and this light will go, I believe it goes red when it's finished, but it'll light up inside of here, and you'll be able to know when it's finished. And it comes with a full set of extra props, and it comes with a Phillips screwdriver, and it also comes with some of these extra little landing pads here. If one of them comes off and you want to replace that, I believe is what that is. Let's go ahead and go over to the controller. The controller is just like my Christmas egg drone, except for it's JJRC labeled. You press in to start the props, and then press up to give it throttle and take off. You press in to get on the stick, and that will do an auto landing. You get 3 rates here on the top, and 1, 2, and 3 beeps, and that will obviously increase your pitch. The yaw seemed to be the same for me, but it's a nice yaw, so I didn't have any problem with it. And I was able to yaw in place, and it didn't drift or anything on me, so it's a nice yaw. And of course, the design of this helps. For the Christmas egg drone, that was one of the faults I had with this controller, was when I yawed, it drifted around. It was probably kind of how it was top heavy, and that was one of the things I had a little trouble with, was whenever it drifted around on me like that. Let's see the buttons here on this. There's your headless mode is on your top here. Your right button here is going to be your calibration. If you need to calibrate the gyros, it should do it when you power it up, but if you need to recalibrate it, your bottom is your emergency stop, and your left here is to turn your LEDs on and off if you want to save a little bit of battery power. So pretty much I think that covers it all. It's a really nice drone. It's pretty basic. Let's go just mention the app real briefly. Don't want to neglect that. The app is the FuriBee app, and I think it's the only one on the Play Store. Hopefully it'll start up here. There he goes. And you just connect to it. Obviously I'm not connected now, and you've got your photo, video, and your rates, and you can fly it with the controls, if you want to bring them up. And you've got gyro calibration, and here's your auto takeoff, auto landing, and your 360 flips. So if you want to use the app, or you want to fly by the app, or if you want to mount it on something, that is the one way you do 360 flips, because you can't do 360 flips with the controller. I didn't mention that in my Christmas egg review either, because you can do flips with it and you can't with the controller. So that's how it is on all these. I'm not a huge fan of 360 flips, but if you want to do it, you have to go into the app and do it. And it does have this little flight path thing where you can, you use your throttle yaw and you can tell it to go on a little, flight path. But I don't think it, it works particularly well, though. It works okay. But you can't expect much. It's just using headless mode to do that. So I had the app up here on the screen so you know where to find, because if it's possible that if you like mine and you got without instructions, then you're going to be a little bit lost for a moment. It didn't take me long to figure it out, but I've contacted GearBest and they're aware of it, and they're going to make sure that there are instructions with the orders. I was one of the first to get it, and I think the distributor just left the instructions out. But it's not a big deal because it's easy to figure it out, in my opinion. And like I said, this review should help you figure out everything that you need. It did not take me long at all to figure out how to fly this guy. So I think that covers everything. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll take it out now for a flight test. All right, so I have the FuriBee H818 outside in the backyard here. I'm going to try to fly it around. We'll get some sample footage here. I'm going to show you I got it bound up with my phone here on the Wi-Fi. I'll go ahead and move it around so you can see it's hopefully that'll show up at the live feed. Its lag doesn't seem to be too bad, and like I said, the picture quality is really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and start recording video. All right, we're recording the Wi-Fi feed here. Go ahead and set it on the ground. Let's go ahead and start up the props. I'll go ahead and take it up. You can see here's the gyro controls. Like I said, just like in my other ones, you move the controller to the right, to the left. You just tilt it forward, back. It does have altitude hold like the new Elfie and the Christmas egg drone. And there's the yaw. Not too bad. I'll go to the middle rate now, and the yaw looks like it's pretty similar. I mean, if it's increasing, it's not much. And here's the highest rate. And so the yaw looks pretty much the same to me. I really like the look of this drone, and you can fly this outside, as you can see, without near as much problem as like the egg, which is more of an indoor flyer. I'm gonna try to bring it back here and hit the trees. Oh, crash! Whenever you're flying it back at you, that's when your orientation, when you're flying something with this gyro control, can be a little bit confusing. So it's not hard, but it takes some practice. So let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and take back off again. There we go. Let's see what rate we're in. I'll take it up to the middle rate. And it flies really, really nice. I mean, it's just like I said, when you get it out a little ways like this, it's just a matter of getting your orientation down when you're flying back. But tilt right, left, forward, back, then your throttle up, throttle down, and then your yaw. So real basic, really. It's more like playing a video game, or like I guess the old Nintendo Wii with the wand controller. It works really, really well. Like I said, no flips unless you use the app control. Pretty much from my test of this, the only thing that I really noticed with this was when the battery started to get low, it would start to have trouble holding its altitude, even though the LVC had not gone up. Because the LVC, it's a decent amount of time. So that I'm not really sure exactly why, but it wasn't like a really big deal. But I was flying it indoors. We'll see now. I've flown it outdoors also. I flew it outdoors and indoors. But I didn't fly it completely dead last time I was outside. So we'll see here if we fly it till the end of the battery, if it starts to lose altitude. So I said this is an intermediate rate. Just tilt it forward, and I'm going to bring it around. Real easy to fly outside. Just be mindful when you're flying it back at you, stuff like that. It can get a little bit confusing to a lot of people. That's where with this control, some people might like headless mode better. I typically don't like headless mode, but it's something you might want to use in this. I'll see if I can try it here. See, no matter which way I turn the controller, it's still forward, back, forward, back. See, it's in headless mode and the lights are flashing. I usually, like I said, I usually don't use headless mode, but you know, for this one, if I face it towards me now, back is forward and back towards me brings it back. That actually works quite well. And this is one of the drones where I think headless mode would really be beneficial. Even though it's not going to teach you proper flight techniques, this controller's not, you know, ordinary either. Go ahead and press headless mode again. Now I'm out of headless mode. Now forward, back, but when I face me, it's going to be just the opposite. I got to go forward to come at me, back to go back, which is just because your orientation is changing. Or in headless mode, again, when I face it towards me, press headless mode, it's going to be, this is beginning towards my chest is back, and this way is forward. Oh, see, now that's where I got mixed up. I'm gonna go ahead and land it. So go ahead and hit the land button so I don't turn off headless mode. Chopped up a little bit of grass. But I really enjoy flying this because it's just so neat flying with that gyro. It's a nice change of pace for me, and just really, really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording the video here. We got about 4.5 minutes or a little longer of video there. So we'll go ahead and fly it a little bit more without the video. Want to make sure you always want to make sure, like I say in all my reviews, is you when you're recording over Wi-Fi, make sure you stop that before your battery goes dead. Otherwise, you will likely lose or corrupt the video saved to your phone or tablet. So let's go ahead and we'll take it up to the highest rate. Go ahead and take off. Like I said, I like flying it both ways, but it's like whenever you're flying it in headless mode, it's a little bit easier. And as you can see right there, I think the battery is starting to get low. Yeah, we're getting LVC now. I believe it's starting to flash. So make sure we're not in headless mode. No. And that's why, because it, you know, once you hit close to that LVC, it just cannot keep itself up in the air. So as you can see, flight time somewhere around 5 minutes. And I say, as it starts to get low, it has some trouble. Even over there, you know, I told it to land, but you know, you could feel it starting to lose a little power. So probably, you know, it's not very long, but they probably should make the LVC on this at a little bit higher voltage so that you can land it and don't have trouble and you're skimming across the ground. But overall, this is really, really nice. We had a great Christmas present, so I think I would highly recommend this. So definitely check out the video description for a link, purchase link to this. If there's a coupon with it, we'll include it. Last I checked, this was on flash sale, so there wouldn't have been a coupon. Also check out the 11/11 sales that are going on now, all kinds of great sales. So I'll link to a couple of promotional links to GearBest in the video description also. So I appreciate you for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and have a good day.
The power of the dark side.